Hi guys, I'm Edgy from Stellar Chat. Today I'm going to explain a little bit what is a birth chart and how a birth chart reading can help you to navigate with the flow of the universe. And this is not a fake. You can be guided by the movement of planets and find out where they are. For that you need a table of where the planets where they're going to be. This table, it is called ephemeris, but nowadays we use the computer to help us. You put there the program that the astrologers use and you can find out. For instance, today is May the 28th of 2022. Venus, the planet of love, has just entered the sign of Taurus. The sun is in Gemini. The moon is, I can't remember what the moon is today, probably in Taurus. But anyway, you are guided by the planets and the signs, and you can navigate with certainty, knowing when the planets will meet at a particular place. I'm gonna use my birth chart to explain better. So this is the chart wheel, and there is a placement for each sign. Yes, and each house, how can I say, talks about a particular theme. So we're gonna have 4 main points, which is the ascendant, your rising sun, mid-heaven, where are you going to go as a professional or in this earthly world of ours. Then you got the descendant, where you find partnership, either emotional partnership or professional partnership, and the low sky, there you usually where things end. And this is an horizon line that we can say like above the equator, below the equator. Putting in normal language for you guys to understand how we look at a birth chart. The sun, symbolized by this symbol over here, is our consciousness. Yes, the moon, this is the sign of the moon, talks about our emotional, how we react emotionally to things, and you can get to know these are lives. Never has a helicopter in Praia de Rosa, and today we got a helicopter in Praia de Rosa. Anyway, then you can describe your relationship with your mother in some manners. Then rising sun shows a quality that people sees from you, because sometimes we don't see ourselves as our ascendant. We know ourselves as our sun, but people look at us, the mask that we show to others, also how our body structure is. This is the rising sun. Usually, when one person gets to know their sun, their rising sun, and their moon, we call the triad. There's a lot to be talk about the person's characteristics. Then the birth chart is like a compass, like how to navigate in this world. Of course, there is the free will, and sometimes what you see here do not happen because we decide to go in a different way. But other times, we can see and find out a lot of things. Like, I don't know you don't know me, but somehow I translate everything that is happening in your life because of the study of each planet in each house and each sign. And there is a conversation inside, and this conversation we call the aspects. And the blue lines here, they are, you can say, happy or easy aspects, such as trines or sextiles. And then you can face yourself with challenging times, and you can tell, like, my map has got this huge T-square, which is like 90-degree angle, and like one planet hits the other and brings challenge. In my case, for my growth, and for many people that has got some squares inside their maps as well. But there is only through these challenges that we really grow. I mean, our soul growth. Then you got also, the opposition, and there is a 180 degrees, it's like one planet faces one another and like, look, I need to face you and deal with what we have to deal with. Anyway, then what else? Somebody, people ask me, what an astrological reading includes? Well, you can have your whole birth chart interpreted as your characteristics, challenges, qualities, opportunities, like sex styles. There's an opportunity that if you miss, that's it, forget about it. It's not going to return. Then, according to the table of planets that I showed before, we can check the dates, month, year, when something is about to happen. We work with mathematical counts. For instance, my sun is 0 degrees, 46 minutes of the sign of Scorpio. So they are grades, they are minutes, they are mathematical positions that we are going to look for when we look to a table of planets. And because of this table of planets, we are able to know when something is going to happen. Yes? Then you can plan yourself every full moon, like today is the 28th. On the 30th of May, which is going to be next Monday, we're going to have a new moon in the sign of Gemini. And you go to your birth chart and you look to the degree of the sign of the full moon, about the new moon, and you're going to be able to plant new seeds. For instance, in my map is going to be the 5th house. The 5th house talks about creativity, about talents, about romance, about play, party. So everything is going to be light up. That's my map, the 5th house. And then 6 months from now, which is the full moon, then we are able to see if the seeds that we saw were flourished, if they flourished or not. So this is one way that you can plan yourself according to the new moon and see yourself in a 6 months period of time. So you can plan your life. Everybody talks about Mercury, the planet of communication, that now is still retrograde. And we do not sign contracts when Mercury is retrograde. And we may face challenges with, electronics, like mobiles go crazy, computer don't work, all these things can happen during a Mercury retrograde, phase. And you can tell that even our speech sometimes get chaotic. And how it will help? How can astrological reading help you? You can get to know yourself better. You can plan your life and flow with the universe. And it gives you power. Because when you get to know yourself and all your strength and all your challenges, I think that you are much more prepared to face life and get the best of it. So you live your life to the fullest. Then it's the real fake. Well, this is my channel, Stellar Chat. You can go there and see that I used to be a diver. I used to be an announcer, but I study astrology since I'm a 10-year-old kid. But it wasn't my profession until the pandemic hit. Of course, I used to do astrological readings off-site for friends and friends of friends, but it wasn't my real professional until I had to be faced with the challenge that each one of us faced when COVID hits everybody, and we say, well, life is not working the way it should be, and to fulfill a soul purpose as well, because I didn't want to work with something that it does not make any sense to me. And I'm not saying that I didn't like sports announcing or yoga teaching or anything like that, but I wanted to put my sole purpose in action, and that can happen to you as well. Then, how it will happen in someone's life, I think that I have answered that. How long is the reading accurate for? So usually when you do a reading, like transits, you have got your birth chart read by some other astrologer, for example, different than me. But you bring to me your birth chart or your data, and we are going to investigate a period of time that can go from 6 months, let's say from one set of eclipses and to the other set of eclipses, or for a moment of 3 months time, or you can just check the movement of the fast planets, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, or you can understand quite of long cycle like Jupiter, or a much more longer cycle, which is Saturn, because you got the sun and the moon, and sun usually travels 30 days each sign. That's a cycle of 12 months, which is 1 year. The moon transits usually 2 days and a half on each sign. Then you got Mercury and Venus and Mars, which are fast movement. After that, Jupiter, which is a little bit, faster, but not as fast as the other ones. And the other planets. When things come to pass, well, sometimes we say that you don't escape your karma. If you came to this life and there are things that are meant to happen, it doesn't matter if you are in Brazil or Australia or Tokyo or whatever, if that's your destiny, you're gonna have to face your destiny. And there are different types of birth charts. You can have your natal chart, which is the birth chart itself. Then you can investigate or study the transits and prepare yourself. Then there is the solar revolution map, which is the birthday, the picture of the sky when the sun, your sun, meets the transit of the sun. So every year we finish one cycle and we start another. So you can look at it and investigate what's going on for my next cycle. And sometimes you can prepare yourself if you want to, my prosperity or my career to improve. Then you focus on your career, or, oh, my career is fine, I want to be plenty and find